For years, a remarkable gingerbread cake recipe without molasses has been a staple during Christmas. In this video, we bring you an easy cake recipe. This gingerbread cake recipe will not use molasses to sweeten our cakes. Besides, these gingerbread cake recipes will be as good as traditional gingerbread. What you will need in making this recipe. Ingredients: half a cup of softened salted butter, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 cups of milk, 1 cup of dark brown sugar, 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1½ teaspoons of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 piece of a large egg, powdered sugar or whipped cream for serving. Step by step. Step 1. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Afterward, grease the 8-inch square cake pan with non-stick cooking spray. Then, line the pan with parchment paper. Spray non-stick cooking spray on the parchment. And make sure to set aside. Step 2. Prepare a small saucepan. Then, combine the butter and milk. Afterward, put the saucepan over medium-high heat. Also, wait until the butter melts and bubbles form around the edges of the pan. After that, add the brown sugar. Make sure to whisk it gently until all the sugar dissolves. Step 3. Afterward, sift flour, baking soda, baking powder, ginger, cinnamon, cloves, and salt in a large mixing bowl. Then, once the butter mixture cools, stir in the egg. Step 4. After that, create a well in the middle of the flour mixture. Next, carefully pour in the butter mixture. Also, be sure to stir to create a smooth batter. Avoid overmixing the batter. Stop mixing when you have incorporated everything. Step 5. Pour the gingerbread cake batter into the baking pan. Bake for about 25 to 30 minutes. Likewise, bake it until the cake cooks thoroughly. Then, allow the cake to cool completely on the cooling wire rack. Ultimately, slice and serve with powdered sugar or whipped cream. Another recipe. Ingredients: 1 cup of honey, half a cup of unsalted butter, half a cup of sugar, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, half a cup of dried cranberries, half a cup of roughly chopped walnuts, 2 medium-sized eggs, 2 teaspoons of unsweetened cocoa. Step by step. Step 1. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and grease the 9 by 9-inch baking pan using butter or oil. Then, melt the butter inside the small saucepan. When the butter melts completely, add and stir the honey until well combined. Step 2. Mix with an electric whisk the eggs and sugar inside a mixing bowl at medium-high speed until it becomes light and fluffy. Fold the honey mixture into the eggs and combine. Afterward, put the flour, cinnamon, ground ginger, nutmeg, baking powder, and unsweetened cocoa inside a big mixing bowl. Step 3. Pour the flour mixture into the egg and honey mixture. Add the dried cranberry and chopped walnuts, and fold until well combined. Pour the gingerbread cake batter into the greased 9 by 9-inch square pan, and bake for about 25 minutes. Allow the gingerbread cake to cool completely before serving. Tips and tricks. Avoid overmixing the batter, causing the cake to become dry and tough. You can store the cake inside an airtight container in a room temperature for about 1 to 2 days. As a result, the cake can last up to 3 months. Ensure that the butter is cool enough before adding the egg. Plus, if you prefer a strong and spicier cake, you can add a tablespoon of ground ginger to this recipe. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.